Y'all look ugly. Let me clean y'all up. Let me clean y'all up. Y'all still look fuzzy. Why? I just got out the shower. It is. I guess it really don't matter if I show y'all them. Hold on. I'm showing y'all all my stuff, all my business. Stop it. All right. It's Friday, April 10th, 10:55. iPhone, stop it. Stop it. Look at this. iPhone, are you serious? Y'all. Okay. Yep. There it go. You see it blinking? That's how you know they tracking you. Look. You see it blinking? That's how you know they tracking you and listening to what you gotta say. But y'all, I like when I say my story with that was so spiritual. Look. It's trying to catch my face throughout the camera. But it's 10:55. I just got home. I got off at 9:30. I had rush after rush after rush after rush. And when I say it was just like crazy, and I was just over it, and also like a certain person was there when they wasn't supposed to be there, because normally my Fridays are like calm, cool, and collected, and it's kind of like a get in and get out. But yeah, y'all, so this is my hair, black girl problems. I'm gonna have to retwist it tonight and stuff like that. I'm gonna put my brush through it and stuff, and I don't know if I'm gonna show y'all that, because I need to get a tripod to where I can stand y'all up and stuff like that. I got some paper out because it's that serious. Like, I want to write my husband, and I don't need these glasses when I'm looking through the visor. Oh, I do need the glasses because I was trying to go watch this movie, y'all. But it's just gonna be playing in the background while I try to explain to y'all, and it's just gonna be a distraction. So yeah, today I want to talk about just my pet peeves. And these are not really pet peeves. This just things I don't like that people do. And it's the most annoying thing, because it's just like, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to be this malicious. You don't have to treat people this way. You don't have to just be icky. Like, you just like, oh, it reminds me. Is it Fairly Odd Parents? Look, my age is showing. Like, Icky Vicky, ew, Icky Vicky, Icky Vicky. Like, you do not have to be an Icky Vicky right now. Like, you do not have to be her. Like, stop it. Like, just don't. And that's why I kind of want to write my husband, even though I already told him. Like, I have a couple different ways of writing my husband. Y'all hear that? Like, there's some sheets. And before I left that place, I kind of knew what I wanted to write about and stuff like that, which I think I really already touched on, like writing him about like certain thing. But I just wanted to write down my feelings about him, even though like last week God had me write down just something God had me do something behind the scenes last week and stuff like that. He had me doing a lot of stuff last week, but honestly, the end of March, he had me doing different things. Like, he had me doing certain things that, it was like, he was like, it's time. So it was like, it's time. And I think I'm gonna be putting out my videos soon also. I need to go back and watch it because it's like an hour and something long. So I'm gonna go back and watch it and stuff like that, and then I'll be okay to go ahead and post. I came in, I took a shower. It's like 10:03. I didn't get to the shower till like 10:27, 20 something. So, and I already told y'all the time now. So, video diaries. I think I'll put a little edit on this, like video diaries, y'all. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna like edit this. But this is just things that just drives me crazy that people do that I don't like. And I feel like I did one of these before the end of the year, like 10 things I learned. And the movie I'm about to watch is an old movie, y'all. It's on Tubi. That's the only place that you can find it. And I got Tubi on my little TV. Y'all know these TVs run through the internet. I might as well keep my TV. I think that's the only where God. The King. I think it's called this. I have to find it. Hold on. Let me see, y'all. Let me pause, y'all. Give me a second. Alright, I found it, y'all. It's called One Night with the King. Let me play it just so it can not be in this part.
Dreaming.
Alright. Pause it. But my first thing that I don't like is people being discriminatory. People discriminating. And that goes with racism. That goes with just because you're a female, you can't do this. Just because you're a male, you can't do this. And I say just because you're a male, you can't do that. That means like nurse, doctor, if they want to be a floor, like if they want to have a garden, like that type of stuff. Not like cross-dressing and stuff, but like florists, like saying like they want to be a gardener or landscape, like that type of stuff. You can't tell a female that, oh, well, you're a female, what you doing in construction, what you doing fixing, being an electrician, like discriminatory. That is one of the things, like, I cannot stand when people are discriminatory and they don't understand what discriminatory is, and they find it funny and they find it humorous when they are discriminatory, and they don't look at themselves in the mirror and be like, I treated this person different because they're a certain race. I treated this person different because I feel like they couldn't do it. I treated this person different because they do things different, but they get their work done. But I'ma laugh at them because I don't like their hair. I'ma laugh at them because their shoes is ugly. I'ma laugh at them because today they got a scarf on their head and it look like they ain't having a good day. So that type of stuff is, that type of stuff is just like, it bothers me so bad. And when I say I don't like it, and then it's just like, how can you look at a person and be like, oh, well, you're not a good fit for this part. Like, you're not a good fit for this job. You're not a good fit for this place. You're not a good fit. You do not know until they are in that place. You do not know until they are in that area, in that surrounding. You do not know. So I cannot stand discriminatory people. I don't like when people are racial. I don't like when people make like I don't like when people make fun and be, have these jokes about racism. Because I was just telling Instagram, like, how I still go into Target because y'all, I have I have videos like Target is, right there. So I still go into Target and I was telling them, I was like, there's still black people working in Target. I was like, if y'all see, especially with me coming from the factory and me working where I'm working now, I said, I have seen some things. I have seen some things and I know some stuff to where people are not getting treated right when it comes to just how laws work, like how laws work and how you shouldn't be discriminatory towards people. I have seen so much stuff, even from the factory and stuff like that. It's a lot of laws that protect people when it comes to discrimination. And I feel like, and it's so funny because I just looked it up recently because I'm like, Lord, it gotta be because I was like, Lord, it gotta be some type of law protecting this certain person, this certain group, because I was looking up a certain group, a certain person, a certain thing to where it comes to working and being like a certain way and stuff like that. And it's against the law. It's illegal to be discriminatory anyway. It's illegal to that, like, we have so many laws protecting us, and we, like, I for sure, like, at the factory, like, God just had to be like, hey, it's time for you to move. And I'm like, God, where we moving to? Like, where you moving to? And he legit had to sit me down because, like, it had got so bad. He had to sit me down with breaking my leg. And of course, the devil tried to use that, to where it's just like, the warfare of, trying to, cause an accident and, take my life. But God used it as like, you need to move and get up out of here, because it had gotten so bad to where I was just taking it to the chin. Like, I was just taking it to the chin. And it's just like, if I would have known there was laws, especially working for a factory, if I known there was laws protecting me and stuff like that. And honestly, my manager, he wasn't, she was pretty cool. She was pretty cool to where it's just like, I work, like, it was kind of like I work and I work hard and stuff like that. And she was kind of like, why are you over here? Why are you over here messing with her? Like, I love a manager that actually takes up and actually be like, hey, like, stop doing this, stop saying this, stop, so, and it was so many lies, so many, rumors, so much stuff that was packed on me when it shouldn't have been. So that's one thing. Number two is how someone talks to someone. And it's so crazy because I see it every day. I see people talking to people in a disrespectful manner and nothing gets done about it. I see people get, just disrespected and nothing gets done about it. Nothing gets said about it. And it's the most craziest thing ever. But I don't like people. I don't like when people feel like, they can check somebody, but they are the rude one and they the one in the wrong. And it bothered me today. It bothered my spirit so bad. Cause I'm like, how you checking someone when you're in the wrong? There was nothing wrong said to you, but you're in the wrong. Y'all, I was just tore up. Like, I was tore up because I was like, how? Like, Jesus, how? And I just sat there and I just looked and I'm just like, Lord, be offense. Be offense, because I was like, how is this possible for someone else to say something, try to get mad at somebody when it wasn't even nothing wrong said? They the ones who are hostile. I can't stand a hostile person. Maybe that's number 2. I can't stand a hostile person because you're hostile and you legit are the one who loves to like slap somebody, and you're slapping somebody and then you hide your hand. Like, that's my number 3. That's my number 3. I don't like people who do something to somebody and then hide their hand. I don't like that. I don't like that. It drives me crazy. Like, it drives me crazy. And when I say I don't like for and I seen it I seen it when, and I can say this cuz I seen it in like when I was working factory also. People would say something and the person would go up to them and be like, hey, did you do this or did you say this about the person? And they'll be like, no, I didn't do it. No, I didn't say that. Or no, I didn't. And it could be, they could have had multiple people around them, multiple people sitting there laughing and talking and gossiping with them, but they sit there and be like, no, I didn't do it. And I don't like that. I don't like people who will say something about somebody and don't take accountability and be like, oh yeah, like I said this. And it's so crazy because, like I told y'all, like I was taking stuff to the chin, but God vindicate me and stuff like that. But it's like I was taking stuff to the chin and I didn't really have to. Like, I really didn't have to, but I did. Also, I don't like when people tell me to shush, because most of the time when I'm around people or when I'm around a group of people, I'm quiet. I'm good and stuff like that. So I don't like when people tell me to shush. It drives me crazy because it's just like, I am trying to help you. I am trying to let you be aware of something. You're not finna tell me to shush. And if you tell me to shush, I won't tell you nothing else. I'm not bringing it to your attention. I'm not helping with this. I'm not helping with that. And you could be like, oh, well, Sylvia, did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? Yep. But guess what? It wasn't your business, and it wasn't my business to tell you because you told me to shush once upon a time. So why is it my business and why is it your business for me to tell you what I know when you told me to shush before? Obviously, you don't care what I had to say. Obviously, you don't want me to say anything. So someone telling me to shush or be quiet when I don't say nothing, or I wait until like, hey, like, I'm trying to tell you like, hey, like this is wrong, or I'm saying this wrong, or I'm trying to tell you like, hey, like this is not right. And you tell me to shush, or, if I'm trying to talk and I'm not doing nothing wrong to nobody, and you tell me to shush, oh, like, I'm going to remember that. So that's my number. I think that's my number 5. I think that's not my number 5 because yeah, discriminatory people who are hostile, people who hide their hand, and people who shush, like who tell people to shush. That's 4 or 5, like whichever one. But yeah, I may not finish this video and this whole thing, but I think I'm dealing with a little bit of warfare. But we gonna pray that off. I don't know if it's on my side or my husband's side. Give me a second, y'all. I want this commercial to go by. But yeah. Oh, did I tell y'all what I was watching? I'm watching One Night with the King. It's basically Esther and oh Jesus. What is his name? Esther. It's basically the book of Esther. I can't think of her husband name, and most people get his. See, they're gonna be smacking my lips. Most people get his name wrong anyway, but it's basically the book of Esther. I can't think of his name, and I always remember that man's name. But yeah, so these are some of the things that I cannot stand. But I want to write my husband, y'all. I want to write him on a letter. I'm sending you a 4-page letter. Hey. Oh, anyway. But I want to write him a letter. But yeah, I feel like in the spirit something is happening. Let me see. They trying to get over on me, but it shall not work in the name of Jesus. I feel Holy Spirit with that. Let me see. What is the one for? Reject. But yeah, I feel like I'm going through a little bit of warfare, but it shall not work in the name of Jesus. But yeah, y'all, I see so much stuff. Like and it's so funny because even with me being on Instagram, I was on Instagram Thursday, and Wednesday, people like, oh, this is my, let me see, I can't even go back. Whatever number this is, I think this number 5. I think this number 5. I don't like when people do stuff to try to, and even when you in a place to where it's spiritual and stuff like that, and people just trying to mess with you just to mess with you, or they are trying to do stuff to where, you know, they're trying to make you look a certain way and stuff like that. I cannot stand a person when they do that. And I feel like people are not being held accountable. People are not being held accountable, and I can't stand that. I cannot stand that when people see that the other person is doing stuff wrong and they are not telling or not discipline that person or holding them accountable. They can see that person is 1123. They can see that person is doing wrong and they don't hold them accountable. And I cannot stand that, because they be trying to do stuff to make you look a certain way, or do stuff to, you know, be like, oh, well, she's this or she's that, or she's trying to do this to make it seem like that, and trying to, you know, put it off on they'll swear up and down. They'll be like, she's trying to make me seem like this person or this person, when you are. You are. It's like you are that person. And just because you trying to hide behind and hide behind people and like your little minions and stuff like that doesn't mean you're less of, doesn't mean they not catching you red-handed. They just not holding you accountable. And I can't stand, like, I cannot stand that. I cannot stand that. Y'all. Oh yeah, like, y'all look at this one. I absolutely look like this, the one that smells like shea butter. I just want to smell it. I'm finna get ready to I don't know if I'm gonna eat or anything. I told y'all I'm feeling a little bit of warfare, but I want to get this video out probably like Sunday, Monday, and then like, and I already have it recorded. But let me know in the comments, like, if y'all understand like what I'm talking about, because even with the discriminatory thing and people being like, I'm boycotting Target because they saying, you know, this person and that person can't work here. And I have seen certain things to where it's just like people like, and it's just like, I'd rather for somebody to upfront be like, hey, you're not what we looking for. Have you had this type of background? Have you had this type of background? Blah, blah, blah. Hold on, y'all. So the boycott was for DEI, and it says, they reduce programs aimed to black businesses and employees, causing black backlash. So, and it's diversity, equality, inclusion. But I still seen black people working there. You know what I'm saying? I still seen black people working there. And it's just like, you know, when it comes to certain brands and having certain things in Target, we already know, like, Target is expensive. Target is expensive, and we already know what, you know, that's even like, even if I go into Dollar General, that's why in my video, like, I had went into Target. Even when I go into Dollar General, I know that I am, unless I go to the hair store, I am not going to find many products for my hair, because it's not, most of those products sit on the shelf and they collect dirt, they expire, and most black people are not buying black products out of there. So we're not getting black products from Dollar General. And I go in there and I know I can find maybe one product that I like for my hair. And then you can find African Pride or African Best, maybe. But most of the time you'll find those at Walmart. So, and that's if you trust those. I don't know if they black owned or not. They, you know, so it's, and they're cheaper, and most people be like, don't use cheap stuff for your hair and stuff like that. But you have to find what works for you and pray about it. Like I said, like I was telling Instagram, you have to pray about everything that you put on your body, that you put in your hair, that you do and stuff like that. And if he calling you to, you know, stop doing something, you know, he's gonna gradually have you not like it, or have you tell you to decrease your activities until you fully just submit that to him. And that's the sacrifice, you know, like if you going clubbing every day and stuff like that, and God is telling you like, hey, I'm calling you out of this club. Every time you go in a club, you blacking out. Every time you going into the club, like you you with another male, you with another female, like every time you go in there and then you get your heart broken. So I'm calling you out of this club because, and you going in there like every weekend. So then he may have you sit down for one weekend and then the next weekend. So now you go from, 4 weeks, 4 times a week, you in the club to 2 times a week. Then it gets down to 1 time a week. I mean, 1 time a month, not 1 time. Well, let me repeat that. So, he's gonna tell you to decrease your activities of going into the club. So it may go from 4 times a month to 2 times a month, then to 1 time a month, and then you get to the point to where you go in there and then it's not the same. They're doing this, and this song is playing, you done finally connected with the Holy Spirit, and you listening to some of the lyrics, and you seeing that that's not something that you should be glorifying, or that's not something you should be listening to, and then you're like, okay, God, I'm convicted, so you're not going into the club as much. So it's the same way. But yeah, so they stop having a lot of black but guess what, with Kroger, I love going in there for my flowers and stuff like that. But and black people work there too. I go in there for my flowers and stuff like that. But when it comes to like black hair products, or a lot of stuff to where I'm going to see black businesses, I'm not going to see that. And I feel like we can't really go off of just thinking these companies are going to cater to black businesses, because they do not want us to have a business in the first place, and they don't want us to have as much as them. So guess what? Just like how the little corner stores, had black people in it and stuff like that. We had bread, eggs, and butchers, like black butchers and stuff like that. We have to get back to that. We can't be like, oh, I'm boycotting this because they ain't catering to black. No. And I understand the boycott and stuff like that, but it's just like, I ain't really checking for them to cater to us anyway. I'm not checking for them to cater to us anyway. And I know there are certain, I don't know if Tabitha is still in there, and I don't know if I think the Bratz product was in there. I know the Do is still in there. I don't know if that's black owned or not. Let me see. So yeah, I seen like a big section for the Do. So, it is a black-owned company. Have they sold out yet? I don't know. Most of the black-owned companies get sold out, and we don't keep our companies. We end up selling to a white person, and then they continue on with the name and stuff like that. But it still says it is a black-owned company. I seen a big like showcase for them, and I don't know what other like hair care products they that they have that's black owned. But I was saying that in my last video that I went in there and I'm like, dang, they don't really have nothing for my hair. But yeah, so the Do is in there, and I haven't seen, I don't know if the Bratz gels and stuff is still in there. I didn't see a big thing for theirs, but I did see the Do in there, and I haven't seen like a big showcase of Tabitha. I'm not sure if Tabitha's still up in there or not, but yeah, like I don't expect like a brand, I don't expect Target to do all that, like, and to boycott it is just like, and most people be like, you black and you still supporting Target, and it's just like, I I just needed to go. Like, I just needed some mousse. Like, I just needed some mousse. But it's, you know, I look, there's like so many things that I have seen that is so discriminatory and so racist and so like, I can't imagine, you know, other people are going through when it comes to just different companies and just so many things where it's just like, you know, just people in general, like, and people's like hatred towards other people. And people like, and you know, I can say like, yeah, cuz like I'm spiritually, like I'm spiritually heightened to where it's just like, you know, I know God is doing some stuff in my life and stuff like that, and people try to stop it, and people try to, you know, act like, oh well, you know, people try to stop it, and people try to act like, oh well, like she's doing this and she's doing that, and you know, and it's just like, no, like you're not going to you're not going to hold the other person accountable. You're not going to hold the person accountable. And even with what, and it's so funny because God used something I was going through spiritually to show the heart of people. So what I was going through spiritually, I couldn't control. Like, I couldn't control. And it's just like, it's like what I was going through spiritually, I couldn't control what I was going through spiritually. I couldn't help what I was going through spiritually. And you know, that's why I always told God, I was like, you know, when I first knew who my husband was, I told God, I was like, God, I was like, you need to marinate him. And I don't know why I'm tearing up, but it was like, you need to marinate him so he can understand and so he can see, like it's a spiritual, it's a real spiritual battle. Like, it's a real spiritual battle. And it's not necessarily people who I connected myself with all the time. It's people who are jealous. It's people who are envious. It's people who I see every day who just see the light of God on me. But it's people who, my little eyebrows messed up now. I'm gonna twist my hair and I'm gonna call it a night. But it's people who see that light on me and just want to cause chaos and want to cause confusion. And people see that, and people can recognize that this person is just picking on her. This person is just doing this. This person just doing that. But they won't hold them accountable because they sitting in the background laughing and being like, oh, well, like, it's funny to me. Oh, well, like, this person was, you know, they think it's funny, and it's not funny. It's not funny. And, you know, God used what I was going through spiritually, what I couldn't control, what I prayed for him for years to be like, God, please, like, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know how, I don't know what, I don't know when. But I was like, Lord, I was like, this situation is not good for me. But when I say it exposed a lot of people's hearts, it exposed the hatred, it exposed the demons, it exposed people who just try to play it off as a joke. It exposed people who didn't go to God first about, you know, it exposed a lot of stuff. And and going back to what I said when I was like, God, I'm gonna need you to marinate my husband. I'm like, I need you to marinate him. I need all the tenderism. I need, I need you to, like, when I first found out about him, I was like, God, I was like, I know you got it. I was like, I know you got it. I was like, I can see him as a man of God. I know he's a man of God, but I need you to marinate him, and I need you to make tenderized, make it like I needed him to be tenderized because I needed him to understand the spiritual side of things. And I was like, it's not easy, especially with, how I know God will probably elevate me, or how God is going to use me in life. I'm like, it's not going to be easy for him to come in. So he has to be marinated, and he has to be cooked fully. He has to be cooked fully to understand, like, hey, like, this is a spiritual battle. Like, this is not, no situation to where, she is doing it on her own. Like she's not causing this on her own. This is when it says in the Bible, we don't fight against flesh or we don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against principalities. We fight against principalities. There are some evil people out here. There are some evil people out here. And, I was like, Lord, I was like, I know, like, I was like, I could see that how he's a man of God, and how, like, he's moving and how he's coming and stuff like that. But I need him to understand the spiritual. And I feel like especially if you have a calling on your life. I learned that I had a calling at 16, 17. I didn't understand what God was going to do with it. I didn't have no guidance to understand. So I had to walk it out with God. So with these years, he's been teaching me. He's been teaching me and trying to get me to understand, like, hey, you asked me for this a long time ago, so I'm gonna order your steps. Like, you can't be doing this and stuff like that, because this is the way I am calling you to be. This is the way I am calling you to act. This is the way I am calling you to, understand and have this wisdom and have this knowledge. You can't be stuck in this mindset of things on your bloodline. That it's okay to do this and still try to be with me, or still try to connect to me. You have to let it go. You have to sacrifice it. So yeah, like, when I say I have seen some evil people. I have seen some evil people. And it like how emotional I am, and I feel like God just has me feel the feelings of other people. How emotional that I am to see, like, somebody, that you're supposed to be able to trust. You're supposed to be able to be like, oh no, like, this person got my back. This person has me. Like, this person got me for sure. For them to sit around and be like, oh no, like, I ain't finna hold this person accountable. Like, I'm finna be hostile. I'm finna be discriminatory. I'm finna be like, shush. I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that. And it's just like, they don't understand. They don't understand how they look in the mirror. And they probably don't want to see it. And they probably won't understand it until they look in the mirror, or till they evaluate, like, how they're treating other people. And my Valentine's video, I wish that, I seen like so many couples and people loving on other people and people holding hands, but all I got was negativity. All I got was attitudes that day because they idolized it. I wish, I could have got on here and been like, I see so many couples. I see so many people loving on each other. I seen families. I seen babies. No, I seen a whole bunch of group of people who had attitudes. People calling the phones had attitudes, and it was just a lot. So yeah, like I told God, like it was probably like, I think it was like by March, after I found out who my husband was, and I was like, Lord, I was like, you're gonna have to reveal the spiritual side of this battle. Because if he's going to hold me up and stand for me and support me the way I need to be supported, like I'll stand for him and support him the way I needed to be supported, he's going to have to learn the spiritual side of things. And I feel like my husband be like, I can fix it, I can fix it, I can fix it. Like I can fix it. Like, but, and most of the time fasting, praying, warring in the spirit, like that's how you fix it. But in God's time, God will reveal all. God will reveal it. And I had to be like, God, he has to understand, like, it's a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual battle. I feel like the devil didn't want me to come into God at all. He didn't want me to come into God because I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to teach. I have a lot to let people know. But yeah, like I had to be like, God, I'm gonna let you cook on my husband. But you have to surrender it and be like, God, I'm gonna let you cook and I'm gonna sit back and watch, and he's gonna be where you need him to be, and we're gonna come together and we're going to do amazing things. And he's gonna understand, like, hey, like she's gonna have her times to where she's going through spiritual warfare, to where like people gonna be attacking her just like they attack God. Like we just getting off Resurrection Sunday. Just the same things that Jesus went through. People who are called to God, called to a purpose, called to anything in God, we go through the same things. So, yeah, y'all. Let me twist my hair up, y'all. Hold on. I'll be back. Alright, I popped it all up on a box. But yeah, y'all. It took me going through, Lord, who is the example? It took me going through, is it small enough? I normally do these small. I might pull this back in here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this back. But it took me going through going through a spiritual thing to, and I ain't gonna say what the spiritual thing was, because I can't even explain it. That's the crazy part. I can't even explain it. But it showed me the heart of people. It showed the heart of people. It showed me who I can trust and who I can't trust. And it showed me, even in my family, y'all, even in my family, it's like, y'all, they talk, they gossip too. Like, it showed me who, it showed me who I can trust and who I can't. But the same thing at the same time. But yeah, at the same time, it's just like it opens your eyes. It opens your eyes to a lot of people. It opens your eyes to a lot of people and stuff like that. And it's sad when people still try to speak on you and still try to accuse you of this and accuse you of that and stuff like that. But it took a spiritual thing. It took a spiritual thing for God to um reveal all these people's hearts and their heart posture. And yeah, like, y'all, when I say I don't like discriminatory stuff, and I with the when I was talking about Target and stuff like that, it's just like, y'all, um, I understand, like, them being like, oh well, they're not putting black they're not putting black businesses in there. They still got a few black businesses that's in there. I feel like they pick and choose. So, and I feel like you're gonna see that, like, they're gonna pick and choose, like, what products they put in there and what products they don't. But at the same time, depending on where you live at and stuff like that, it's just like, who going in there for, you know who going in there when they so expensive and stuff like that. But at the same time, if someone um if a black bank, oh Jesus, if a black brand is in Target and stuff like that, and you can get it and you can afford it, man, make sure you support. Cause look, they probably just, like, it was just like, they're gonna, basically, they were saying they're gonna pick and choose. They're gonna pick and choose, and black people's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. But yeah, like, I feel like that boycott is a certain, you shop where you can shop, especially with me. Like, that's right down the street. Like, I ain't gotta cross no street to get to there or anything like that. And not having a car and stuff like that, it's easier. But yeah, like, will I be mad if my brand wasn't, my stuff wasn't in Target? I wouldn't be like, yo, like, if they denied me, they denied me. Like, if it wasn't meant for me, it wasn't meant for me. Like, you can still shop there and stuff like that. But if you want to shop there. But black people was like, no, not our people. And it's just like, well, you have to open up, unless they selling it online and stuff like that, we got to open up our own places, our own businesses and stuff like that. And that's where we open up our own businesses and stuff like that to be able to we open up our own businesses and stuff like that to be able to support them and stuff like that. But most black people don't support their own stuff. I don't know. I may eat something, y'all. I don't know why I got this. I don't feel, yeah, trying to. They trying to do something in the spirit. I don't know what it is. But if it's about me and my husband, we ain't about to play that. We ain't about to play that. Guess what? I'm about to be like, I'm about to put something. I'm about to put something on Instagram like, husband, you praying? We need to come into, we pray together. Even if we are pots, we praying together. Cause what? No weapon formed against us shall prosper. The devil will not win. I am not feeling it right now. But yeah, y'all. So I don't like the discriminatory type of situations that, and I'm talking about like, not, we're cutting back on, black businesses being here or there. Like I'm treating you different racially. I'm treating you different because I feel like you can't do it. I'm treating you different because, I'm sitting here looking at you and I feel like you ain't gonna be able to do this or do that. And, or I feel like you making us look bad, that type of stuff. Like, don't nobody got time for it. Don't nobody got time for that. I can't deal with that type of stuff. When your appearance is, when you feel like appearance and money is way more important than having like loyal people and genuine people around you, it's something wrong. It's something wrong. But yeah, so I'm trying to pull this tight, y'all. I feel like there's certain things, and I also, it's one more, fake love. Y'all, the fakeness is real. I don't like two-faced people either. I don't like two-faced people, and I don't like fake love. Like I see it in my family too. And it's just like, bruh, like, how you gonna, like, I'm sitting right here, like, how you gonna whisper and talk about me like I'm not your family? And most of the time when I had my car, or when I was able to get to like my family and stuff like that, I would, like, I've been staying here for almost 10 years. I would only see them once a year on Thanksgiving, because that's when they actually come together. I don't even know if they're gonna do it anymore, but that's when they actually come together and act like family or somewhat. So other than that, it's always been, I never, see them or anything like that. And that's why I see a few of them um on my Instagram and stuff like that. And I love, you know, being like, my husband, my husband. And it's just like, yeah, like, you know, I'm waiting on God to send me my husband and stuff like that. But at the same time, that ain't y'all business. Because guess what? None of y'all are sitting here praying for me to be like, none of y'all sitting here, y'all just watching, y'all just spectating. Y'all not coming and being like, coming into agreement and being like, yeah, you should get the husband. Like, you should get the husband you deserve. You've been through a lot. You should, you should be able to be happy and live your life, and you know, but yeah, like none of them, like I'm praying with, like none of them, like I'm praying with you to, get your husband and stuff like that. But I haven't been to a Thanksgiving or a gathering in a long time. Sad, but so I haven't seen them in about 2 years. And it's so funny because I seen something that said, like, when it comes to like inviting people to your wedding and stuff like that, um if you ain't spoken to them in 6 months, then you shouldn't invite them to your wedding. Like, what? That's crazy. That's crazy, because it's just like, man, like I ain't spoke to a lot of people in 6 months, and that's like almost all my family. Except for my grandma, my mom, my auntie messaged me all day, every day. But then guess what? If I invite my auntie and don't invite my cousin, they could be like, why she didn't invite me? Why she didn't invite me too? She only sent the invitation to your house. Girl. Girl. Ooh, y'all. But that's sad because I encountered I was telling about it on Instagram. I encountered a lady who her her uh her son was um about to get married, and she just wanted some of her family. Had 200 people. 200. If you doing a big wedding of 200 people, you can have 10 people from your mama's side of the family there. Cause like, what are you doing? And they didn't wanna. They invited like all the rich people, all the people like they daddy society, that high society, that high society people. They invited all of them and only invited 3 people from her side of the family. And he done married again or with somebody else. I'm gonna have to put some oil through my scalp. But yeah, he done married and with somebody else, y'all. And it's just like, how? But yeah, y'all. So that's my little TED talk of just different things that I don't like that people do. And it just bothers me. It really bothers me because you can be kind to people. You can be kind to people. And the thing about it is, when it comes to accountability, when you done seen somebody time and time again do something disrespectful to somebody, and you witness it, it's caught on camera, they caught on 4K, when they caught on 4K and you don't do nothing about it and you don't hold them accountable, it's just like you part of the problem too. I love saying that, y'all. I'm like, you part of the problem too. You're part of the problem too. So I need to put my phone on charger. But yeah, we gonna put these. Let me put some extra. Soak it. I'm sexy, ain't I? I know. My husband probably like this. But yeah, y'all, like when it comes to y'all, like, especially if you got a calling on your life and stuff like that, you want your husband to marinate and you have to sacrifice it. You have to sacrifice it. And in that process, it may not be easy. You know, it may not be easy. You may see a lot of stuff that happens, but you have to sacrifice it until your husband is cooked all the way and he can understand, like, hey, like, this is not what it seems, and God has to reveal. And it could be like God revealing people in his life and God revealing people in your life, and he has to come into agreement with it and stuff like that. I'm gonna put my pens back in this side. I had the blue one on my thing earlier. But yeah, he has to come into agreement with it and stuff like that. That sacrifice, that he has to come into agreement to understand, like, the spiritual side of things. And I wasn't playing. Watch this. Y'all think it's a game. It's 411. What's that in Strong's? Hold on, y'all. All right, I was trying to see something. So I only got one up right now. That was from this morning. That's my little hair. I had too much hair in my face though. So guess what? I'm finna put it on here. Alright, this the template, y'all. Watch this. You just gonna put it in bold. And the devil win. Alright. Run it back. It says, husband, you praying no matter the distance. Let's go to war. Let's go to war for each other through prayer. One thing about me, I'm not letting the devil win. And the song go off heavy. But yeah, I'm finna pray and we'll put a footnote into this video or whatever. I'm gonna break it down, move some clips or whatever. But yeah, y'all, thanks for sitting with me. I don't know if I'm gonna eat. It's 12:22. I'm finna send this. I'm finna go into prayer and stuff like that. How do I change the background? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, let me say this. I don't have to say that part. Hold on. We Dare. I can't let y'all hear the song, but it go hard. it go hard. You have to be following me on Instagram. But yeah, I'm finna pray for my husband. Then I'm gonna write my husband. I don't know if I'm gonna eat, y'all, but I'm finna write my husband as I watch about Esther Hadassah. So yeah, I'm about to pray for my husband. Finna go to war. Cause he cannot hiti danadakari. I'm finna go to war for him, for me, for all of y'all who are standing, for all of y'all who go through spiritual warfare, for all of y'all who have been cursed, word curses, regular curses, for all of y'all who people have done something to you and they haven't been held accountable, and people know they have done them wrong, like have done wrong, but still haven't held them accountable. I'm praying for you too. I'm praying for all of y'all. Okay? I'm praying for all of y'all. And I'm also y'all for y'all spirit, like super like people who are close to God, not praying PREY, but pray for me too, and me and my husband too, as we are fighting and warring for our collision to come together and stuff like that. Pray for us too. um, but yeah, like I'm praying for all of y'all. I'm praying for y'all who are being discriminated against. I'm praying for all of y'all who are, being picked on, being bullied and stuff like that, and you taking stuff to the chin and stuff like that. And people are just finding anything to pick on y'all with and all of that. I'm praying for y'all too. Anybody who's going through spiritual warfare, anybody who can't, anything that something is happening to you that you can't explain and doctors can't explain, or they don't understand, and it's spiritual, that you something that's spiritual, and all of that. I pray, and you're healed. You It's gonna come to pass. God is going to heal you. God is gonna stop whatever thing that people are trying to throw at you, no matter if they're trying to look into your life, monitoring spirits, with rituals and all of these things. God has you. God has got you. And don't give up. Don't give up. I haven't given up. I'm still fighting. And all of that. And I know some people will be like, well, you pursuing him? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But I know he watches me and stuff like that. And I know that I know he watches me and stuff like that. So if he probably prays for me anyway, but it's good to like pray together when two come together, and when two are two is better than one. I mean, yeah, two is better than one when it comes to prayer. So if he sees it, and if he's up and stuff like that, like I'm up and stuff, I want him to be praying too on his end so I can pray. And I'm praying for y'all too, who have been just going through spiritual stuff, and people have been through y'all warfare, people have been, just being disrespectful. So I'm praying for y'all too. So I love you guys. I'll see y'all later. This like an hour 19. And most of the time y'all just sitting here watching me be on Instagram. But I'm about to send this, and I shared it. Let me see. Yep, it's shared, and I am about to, well, it was uploading. Yeah, it's uploading. So I'll see y'all later. I'm about to go to war for this man, for this relationship, for the relationships that's coming to pass, for my new job, for my new house, for my new car, for my new garden, for all the things that I'm asking, that I'm finna go to war for everything that God has promised me. I'm finna go to war for everything that God has promised me. And I'm praying for y'all who are going through spiritual warfare. I'm praying for y'all who are in the waiting. I'm praying for y'all who are just standing for your husband, and you're going through like the birthing process. So I'm praying for y'all too. So let me get off here. I love you guys.